Hello everyone, it's Mankalor here, and I'm going to be taking a look at the Mario Kart 8 item system. Now the item probabilities I'm going to be looking at in this video are for human players in versus races. The other modes have different item probabilities. With that said, let's get started. In Mario Kart 8, when you break an item box, the item you get is based on your distance from first place, which is measured in units. There are 9 different item tiers for distance intervals. The probability values you see on this table are from the game's code. If you want to get the actual percentage probability, then divide any of these values by 2. Now one misconception that people have about Mario Kart 8's item system is that they think that the farther you are in first place, the more likely you are to get coins. This is not true. When you're in first place, your distance from first place is obviously 0, and so your item probability for a coin is always 40%. Now I bet you're wondering how big these distance intervals look in-game. To answer this, I've been making a post on MK Boards, a Mario Kart forum, and this post shows where the item system changes based on where first place is positioned. For example, when first place reaches the anti-gravity section of Mario Circuit, players who hit the first item box are in the 4th item tier, meaning that they can start receiving stars and blue shells. This MK Boards post is linked in the description below. I highly recommend looking at it just because it'll help visualize the item system better. Now that we know this information, how can we apply it to races? First of all, this can make the item system a lot more predictable. If you look at where the player in first place is on the minimap, you can get an idea of where in the item system you are. Now one tactic you can apply this information to is sandbagging. Sandbagging is where you slow down intentionally to get better items. Let's go back to the Mario Circuit example, and let's say you're about to hit the first item box on the second lap. When first place is at the anti-gravity section, you're in the 4th item tier. However, if you wait a little bit longer and wait for the player in first place to reach the last coin on the bridge, then you'll drop down to the 5th item tier, eliminating the possibility of getting single green shells or single red shells, and you also give yourself a chance at bullet bills, golden mushrooms, and lightning bolts. Here's another example of sandbagging when closer to first place. Let's say you're in 2nd place, and you're right next to the player in first place, less than 400 units away. Let's say you want to use a red shell to stop the player in first place. When you're this close to the leader, your likelihood of getting a red shell is only 2.5%. However, if you drop down past the 400 unit mark, then your chance increases from 2.5% to 22.5%. Also, you give yourself a chance at triple red shells on a 2.5% frequency. Now one thing I should note about sandbagging in Mario Kart 8 is that it's a little bit harder to do in this game compared to the others. You are required to drop back a certain distance, and then you have to catch back up. However, with this information, this should be a more viable tactic. In other words, it's a risk versus reward tactic. Now some of the items in Mario Kart 8 have timer-based restrictions, or only one of which can appear. There's so many of them that I had to make a second screen, so feel free to pause the video to read all of this. So that's all I have to say about Mario Kart 8's item system. If you want to see the item tables for all of the other game modes, then follow the link in the description below. And I also highly recommend, again, checking out the MK Boards post with all the visualized item distances. That's definitely a very useful information right there. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and check out my Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 7 racing guides. You'll see those in the outro. See you all next time.